Hello, welcome along Year 9. Wanted to talk you through what I'm asking you to do today then, so thank you for paying attention and taking time just to watch this brief video. Just wanted to give you some ideas really. I wanted to have a lesson just stepping away from the poetry slightly, but not ignoring it, actually using it as inspiration. Intelligence can be demonstrated by creativity. Creativity looks very different and can be very different, but ultimately I'm looking for you to show me some of that creativity today, and I'm going to give you a choice of 3 tasks coming up in a moment, which I'll talk through quickly. First thing to say is today's work should look like 60 minutes worth of work, as I put there. So I want to make sure that whatever you produce, it should take you that 60 minutes. There should be no rushing this one, please. So let me talk you through. There are 3 options that you have to choose from. You will need to select one of these. First one, choice number 1, create me a piece of artwork that's inspired by one of the poems or on the theme of protests. That is up to you. There have been protests around the world recently about different things, but it could be one of the poems particularly. Maybe it's Caged Bird, maybe it's Limbo, whichever one you found that you actually engaged with. It could be the Deadbeat one, might be a nice one to do as well with the idea of war poetry. Either way, it doesn't have to be one of the pictures there. I've just put those there as a bit of an idea really. Newspaper as a backdrop or magazines, and cutting out and using things like a montage could be a way. There's the classic hand-drawn pencil thing that you see in the middle. There's also the idea of blackout going on there as well, like using old pages from something and blacking out so you're left with certain words. So that might be something you want to consider. Choice number 2. Writing your own poem inspired by one of the ones from the anthology, or it could be linked to an issue that you would want to protest about. It might be, let's say, the environment, for example, or equality, gender issues, sexuality issues. I've put down there beneath that, you could start by writing a list or by naming objects that link to it, as in your theme, or repeating a word or phrase every few lines. Poetry sometimes can feel very intimidating, but actually in some ways it's meant to be very liberating and meant to free you, because you can choose what it is that you want to write about within the poem and how you want it to look and how it sounds, and it doesn't need to rhyme. That's my big thing I would say about that. So whichever one of those you choose, that is over to you and up to you. Alternatively, choice number 3 says design your own protest banners that link to an issue that you would protest about. I've put banners as a plural there because I could anticipate that doing one of those may not take you a full hour. But you need to make it look like an hour's worth of work, so it might be there are a couple. But what I will point out to you, which is on my final slide here for you, which you might want to pause, that actually banners that are successful are actually very clever. There's some ideas for those first 4 bullet points at the top there. Or beneath that, you can actually look at some other things I've highlighted, like remembering like emotive language and triplets, alliteration, imperatives. There are normally methods used on protest banners. So that's what I'm going to leave on the screen there for you. So it's over to you. Choose the one that you think you would like to do most. I can still see people who always say, well, I don't know which one, or I don't want to do any of them. Then decide. There's drawing, essentially, is what one of them is. There's writing, and there's creating posters here. So it's over to you to make it really successful. I very much look forward to seeing these, of course. If you need to bounce any ideas off me, then you can always ping me an email. But otherwise, I very much look forward to seeing your work go on to show my homework. Thank you very much, Year 9. Goodbye.